Is it okay? Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I am Fatin Nabila Binti Jumahat. Today, I want to share with all of you about one hadith sahih. Alright, let me read it first. Hadith related to animals and humans. Narrated Abu Hurairah. Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, while a man was walking, he felt thirsty and went down a well and drank water from it. On coming out of it, he saw a dog panting and eating mud because of excessive thirst. The man said, this dog is suffering from the same problem as that of mine. So he went down the well, filled his shoes with water, caught hold of it with his teeth and climbed up and watered the dog. Allah thanked him for his good deed and forgave him. The people asked, "Oh Allah Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is there a reward for us in serving the animals?" He replied, "Yes, there is a reward for serving any animate." The companion asked, "Shall we be rewarded for showing kindness to the animals too?" He, peace be upon him, said, "A reward is given in connection for every living creature." Narrated by Abu Hurairah and compiled in Sahih Bukhari. Okay, let's see the story related to this hadith. The story of the thirsty dog and a man. A man in the desert left his home to take a long journey. It was a hot day, and he had not walked far before his heat began to itch and his lips felt dry. The sun blazed overhead. The fields he passed were brown and withered, and no water could be seen. "I'm so thirsty, I must find water," he muttered. "Surely I will soon come to a well." Just as he had the thought, he saw a well by the side of the road. Thankfully, he hurried to it, almost tasting the sweetness of the cool water that lay in its depth. But when he peered into the well, he saw no water. The well was dry, due to that because the feeling sad and even thirstier. He continued along the scorching road, hoping to find another well. Sure enough, before long he saw one. At last, water, he whispered, looking into the well. But it too was dry, with a dry throat and feeling weak. The man walked on. "I can't go much further without water," he thought. And then he saw a well. Almost afraid to hope, he looked over the edge. Far below, in the darkness, water sparkled. "Allah be praised," the man said. He looked around for a rope and bucket to lower into the well so he could bring up the living water. There was no rope and no bucket. How could he reach the water he needed so badly? Only one way remained. He would have to climb down into well, scramble over the top, and carefully bracing himself against the side with his arms and feet, descended into the well. Deeper and deeper he went, until at last he touched the cool, wet water. Cupping his hands, he scooped the water and drank and drank. He murmured, Allah be praised for his water." Feeling much better, the man began the long, difficult to climb up out of the well. At last he reached the top and stood again on the road under the hot sun. He was starting to walk away when he heard a sound, a soft, sad whine. He looked down and saw a dog sniffing at the ground. The dog looked miserable. His eyes were sad, and he was panting with thirst. He came up to the man and licked the edge of his robe, which was wet from the trip down the well. "This poor animal is as thirsty as I was," the man thought. "He will die in this heat if he doesn't get water." Look up, the man enriched his teeth, grateful for the few water drops. The man made his decision. "Wait here," he said. "I will bring you some water." Then into the well he went. Again he descended down all the way of the bottom. When he got there, the man braced himself against the wall of the well and took off his thong leather boots. He dipped one boot and then the other into the water and filled them. He climbed the tops of the boots between his teeth and began to climb up again. This time the trip to the top was much harder. The heavy water-filled boots pulled on his mouth and his teeth hurt. Slowly he kept climbing until he reached the top. He was on the ground again. He knelt and opened the boots so the dog could drink. The dog drank all the water in both boots. He still the man smiled. "Now neither of us will die of thirst," he said. He pulled on his dumb boots, fed the dog again. After that, continued on this way.
In the hadith above, the prophets mentioned the reward a man obtained due to giving water to a dog. This shows that even a minor deed can be a means of salvation for a person. It is unnecessary not to underestimate any sin. One sin can cause a person to go to hell. This shows us that we should not underestimate any of our deeds. However, there is no decree that everybody who gives water to a dog will go to paradise. Even the smallest decision of giving water to a thirsty animal can carry that blessing. Here's to the little things that we all do from the good of our heart. So let's remember to be thoughtful of those around us, humans and animals. Allah notices every good we do. Nothing is ever too small. That's all my story about hadith that gives a lesson for our life.